Greetings on my channel, my name is Sasha. In this video I will tell you how my first month of wintering in Vietnam went. What I like, what I don't like. Be sure to watch till the end. At first, like many people, we flew to Ho Chi Minh City and decided to stay for a whole day since we are here and walk around this big metropolis. But because of the tickets we were delayed for 2 days. In the end, we didn't like Ho Chi Minh City. Well, how we didn't like it? For a change of picture for half a day, it's okay, but no more than that. Big large season metropolis with frantic traffic. 2 days was too much for us, not a fan of such noise, as well as museums and other such places. We walked around this frenzied city, visited also the night street and came to a little shock. What else we didn't like? The hotel prices are higher than in Nha Trang. For the same cost, the quality in Ho Chi Minh City is much worse. We couldn't wait to leave at the end of the first and beginning of the second day. But on the second day we visited a cool vegetarian restaurant and flew to Nha Trang. But Nha Trang in the middle of November met us with cloudy weather. Not just cloudy but rainy, not just rainy but with downpours. With downpours quite frequent, strong and constant, up to the fact that on the bike several times we got under such a heavy downpour, which can be called hail. Once we were almost washed away by the rain in a cafe. And for the whole first month we can say that there were a few sunny, not rainy days in November, and then after December 7-8 the rain stopped. As for the food, I like the food in general in the restaurants, and I thought what I will eat here if I do not eat meat, fish and seafood, because everyone here mainly eat it. But in principle there is a way out of the situation. Vegan cafes are quite a lot, and quite a lot of even marked on the map, and they are even much more than in my hometown. In fact, there are a lot of them here. Here is such a meal, 900 dongs, all vegetarian, tofu, soy meat, salad, some kind of thing, some vegetables, rice and a small soup still. Besides vegan descent places, we once decided to visit a purely Vietnamese authentic vegan place, and I decided to use their restroom on the second floor, and there was a huge cockroach in there and I screamed so hard. This is what the kitchen of this place looks like. But fruits are a total delight, because when you eat fresh natural mangoes, delicious bananas, coconut, you just forget about all the problems for that moment. I've even met even a snail almost on the road outside, but most often it's rats, of course. While we were looking for an apartment for long term, we had time to live in several hotels. In the end, in Virgo lived the longest. We even went back there a second time, because we like it here most of all. A pleasant atmosphere, everything is clean, fresh, not snobby as in many other hotels. That is, the hotel is watched and it is nice to be here. Also there is a cool pool, but in it is very cold water. Also, one of the options for long-term accommodation we had was panorama. We decided to test it, so to speak. The room was chubby, despite the fact that the view was gorgeous from the 31st floor. We didn't really want to stay here, because the room had a feeling of wear and tear. But then, as a result, when we reviewed a lot of apartments, we decided on another studio also in panorama. But what apartment we choose, this I will show in another video, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. By the way, when we finally mastered riding on Vietnamese roads, it became much more fun and at least much easier to get to the right places. So in my opinion, a moped is a necessity here because it makes life much easier. And this is our experience of getting stuck on a rented bike because it stops starting at the wrong time. So be as careful as possible about what you rent, because you can get stuck much farther out of town and waste your time. In the first months, in addition to finding a place to live and a bike, we had time to go to a pagoda, which is right in the city. And in general, there are a lot of such places outside the city, and they are much quieter than the city one. By the way, I am amused by the way Vietnamese spend their time. Here, for example, in one of the motorcycle salons, what an atmosphere the seller has. Or Vietnamese women gather and dance right on the street. Or singing. Or doing Qigong. And can you imagine that in the center of the city near Lotus constantly put up and dismantle the stage, preparing constantly for a new event or holiday? So that's the downside of living in the center for those who don't like noisy parties, like me. Many people are interested in how the weather in Nha Trang, and the weather is such that in November-December there are very few days when you can go into the water, because the waves are so strong that it is usually impossible to go on, at least in the center. Of course, you can go through the wave, and so do some people, and I did so in the most acceptable days, but it is at least most often unsafe. You can, of course, if you want to swim in the northern part of Nha Trang, but there is a small piece of beach. I tried to swim there a few times, but as the beach itself I do not really like. Therefore, if the goal is a short-term beach and sea vacation and you do not imagine your vacation without swimming, then November-December is not the best idea. It is better to look for another place. In December in general the weather is good, neither cold nor hot. The temperature is really comfortable, but because of the waves, to swim in the center in that month is almost impossible. And there are such days that the wind blows straight away that even I was blown a little on the bike and drifted aside. Not to mention the fact that the hair can experience some difficulty. And of course, one of any of my pastimes here, the few things I love Asia for is, of course, massage. It's certainly not everywhere of high quality, but you can find your good massage. See you in the next video. Bye bye.